In this episode of Animal Academy, I meet some cruisy kangaroos.
Geoff and Blair tackle a case of sibling rivalry.
And we meet Nana Pam, a saviour for sick and injured birds. Hi, I'm Jeremy Maguire.
And I'm Sarah Ulmer.
Welcome to Animal Academy. Today we have with us Apollo, who is a 6-year-old Swedish Vallhund.
These guys are also known as the Viking dog and thought to date back to Viking days over 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, Vallhund is Swedish for herding dog, and the Vikings used them to herd their cattle as well as protect their houses and catch rodents.
Well, first up today we're off to the Wellington Zoo, where we meet Vimal, who's got a soft spot for the chimps. Come on, Apollo. Good boy. Vimal Patel is the head primate keeper at the Wellington Zoo. He's been a keeper since 2007.
I was actually studying at university and I wanted some practical experience with animals. So I signed up for the volunteer program and then I enrolled into the zookeeping course. And while I was doing that, a job came up and I applied for it and managed to wrangle my way into a primate position very early on, and I haven't looked back.
With 75 animals in the primate collection, Vimal's day begins with the breakfast feeding.
So this is our baboon group here at the zoo. We've got 16 of them in total. We're just going to give them some of the seed mix because they like to snack throughout the day. And some interesting characters to point out. This one right up the front here, this is Albert. And what usually happens in baboon society is all the silver males share responsibility. But here at Wellington, Albert's decided that he wants to be in charge, and that's actually led us to a bit of grief in our baboon group. So lately we're seeing a few frustrated males. They're actually just trying to battle Albert for the dominant position, or I guess part or share of the dominance. But Albert's not too keen on giving that one up.
Primates are feisty creatures, and part of Vimal's job is to manage their behaviour. These spider monkeys normally live together happily, but Vimal is doing some behavioural training with two he's removed from the group.
So this is cheeky Jackie Chan right here, he's a feisty boy, and Bayan. And we've just brought in Jackie Chan and a couple of others from other zoos around New Zealand, and we had already put them together and it was all fine until a few months ago when Jackie Chan decided that he didn't like the group of spider monkeys that were originally here. And so we're just breaking up some of the old bonds and trying to form some new bonds. And the main one is between these two, because they both want to be the top dog. And we have to try and make one come out on top. Spider monkeys especially have a really awesome tail. They use it like a hand. Whereas baboons, their tails they can't use like a hand. And chimpanzees don't have tails at all, being an ape. I must admit I really enjoy the chimpanzees, and they're really growing on me as one of my favourites. They're just really, really interesting animals, all different, and you bond with them so closely. Playtime?
Vimal and his team get to know the chimpanzees well through their daily play and training sessions. This allows the keepers to assess their physical health and well-being. The chimps may look playful, but they're unpredictable. Even after working together for a number of years, they do need to be carefully controlled.
Being the most dangerous resident or animal here at the zoo, we always have to have a barrier between us. But despite that, we want to take really good care of them. So we actually use the chimpanzee's intelligence to get a really good, really fun training session out of them. Harmony here is checking the chimps over for anything that's out of the ordinary. So injuries, checking their teeth, checking that there's no runny noses or weepy eyes. And it's just a good time to bond with the chimps, and it's a sort of a mentally engaging activity between the keeper and the chimp. So this is Benny, the little one, and Sally, his mum. And as you can see, Benny's a bit too distracted. He's still trying to get his head around what goes on during this time of day, but he absolutely loves it. A very clever boy. Benny's 2.5 years old. He's in his terrible twos, it's true. As you can see, steals his banana off his mum, poor Sal. So once we've got the chimps outside, we're actually spending quite a bit of time in the house. So we've got cameras set up throughout the building and out in here in the park, just so that we can keep an eye on the chimps, make sure they've gone out, that they're eating. So on our section, primate section, we've got about 75 individual animals, and you can imagine we're seeing quite a bit happen with them each day. So we're seeing a hierarchy change, or one animal's aggressive to another animal, or this animal's off its food.
This attention to detail provides Vimal with an excellent insight into all aspects of his primates.
After a couple of weeks, we can look at the whole scenario and just making sure that we're not missing anything that we might miss on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, you can kind of imagine for 75 animals it can take a fair amount of time, but it's really important that we do this recording so that we can keep track of this many animals that are on our section. And working here at the zoo, especially with primates, every day is completely different. And the bit that we all here at Wellington Zoo enjoy the most is actually sharing our passion and what we can all do to help these awesome animals out.
Well, obviously Vimal is a man who's totally into his work.
Someone else who's totally into their work is the lady in our next story. Nana Pam looks after sick and injured birds, but that's not all she does.
Pam Drake loves her garden and her birds. Any birds, particularly live ones. Especially the young, lost, sick or injured. Her lounge is an aviary and clinic for rescued birds, including cockatiels, pigeons, seagulls, thrushes, rainbow lorikeets and even a little owl.
Righto, National, come on, we'll have this little game we play first thing in the morning. National, he came off the roof of the National Bank in New Brighton, about 3 weeks old. He was running around the road and people said, you have to do something about it. Not my fingers.
Pam's efforts in the last 6 years as a bird rescuer have earned her the name Nana Pam.
The time I spent in an orphanage, we weren't allowed pets. And I just felt that this is my way of getting back to not being able to have pets, so... Don't we, darling, hey? Come on. I had to share with everybody, and I said then, if I ever get anything that's lost its mum, I'll treat it like I would have liked to be treated. A cuddly and a toy. And I feel that they do like it.
All Nana Pam's birds are in good hands, no matter what their injuries.
He can't close his wing down. That should go right underneath and cover all that up. And this should cover it, but it can't. Both sides are deformed. He won't be put down. I won't let them do that. He can have that either surgically treated or just trimmed. And he can come back and live with me.
Freedom was her first rescue bird and has made himself at home.
Oh, he's never off Ian's shoulder. As soon as Ian comes home from work, he's on his shoulder.
She's eating honey on toast, which she really likes. She eats pretty much what we eat, and flowers. Absolutely adores flowers.
Just open it a wee bit and we put the food in for him.
Nana Pam feeds her orphans an interesting diet.
I feed the birds with cat biscuits and they're soaked overnight, and because they have a good vegetable content, it's almost natural food for them.
Many of these birds need hourly attention. So what happens when Nana Pam goes to work?
If you've got to be fed, you've got to come with Mum to work. OK, rock and roll, kids.
Luckily, they don't have to go far. It's just down the road.
There you go, babe. People do bring the birds in here to me rather than go to the vets. They know I do it now and they know they're going to be taken care of, and they can also see the birds. They can come back in a couple of days' time and see the birds here in a cage and being happy with their toys and their cuddlies. There we are. Sometimes I'm doing something with the birds and someone wants something, so I stick the bird under my arm and I'm like this, serving with the bird under the arm. And they say, oh, isn't it lovely? Can we touch it? And the amount of elderly that come in here said, I've never touched a duck.
Nana Pam, more bread for the little birdie wordies.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good stuff.
Nana Pam is a well-known local with many friends who help out.
Right, this is your new bird.
A good day for Nana Pam is to see one of her rescued birds go to a loving home.
Hey, sweetheart. Say hello to your mummy. Hey, just nibbles. Thanks very much, dear. Okay. I'm actually closing the shop in November. I've got spinal surgery coming up, and my surgeon said I've got to retire before we do it again. But if I can sort of carry on a wee bit longer, I will. I'll carry on as long as I can. But I'll still do it from home, and I'll still have my wee shop at home with my bits and pieces here, so I can't give up both.
After the break, Jojo the Spaniel has got serious behavioural problems. Our vet Geoff may be able to help.